Welcome back. The condor is among the biggest birds in the Western Hemisphere. It has a wingspan that can surpass 3 meters or 10 feet, and it's a national symbol for many countries in Latin America. In Peru, the condor is worshipped and believed to be a messenger sent down from heaven. It represents the glory of the people and their triumph over Spanish rule. But as correspondent Dan Collyns tells us, from deep in the Andes Mountains, a festival meant to honor this respected bird may instead be causing it dishonor and damage.
They call it the Apu Condor, the divine bird of the mountains. Usually seen gliding above the highest peaks, the Andean condor has an elevated status for the people of the Andes. But once a year, this majestic bird, for most a silhouette on the horizon, is grounded. It's the Saint's Day of the Immaculate Conception of the Virgin Mary, and for as long as anyone here in Ihuayo can remember, that day marks the yearly Yawa Fiesta, or Festival of Blood. But rather than the Blessed Virgin, the centerpiece of the festivities is a captured wild Andean condor. Paraded through the village, it's even more impressive at close quarters. Its wings span more than 3 meters. But what happens next could easily lead to the death of this endangered bird. It's the moment the crowd has been waiting for. The condor is tied to a rope which is stitched onto the back of an angry bull, then released into the ring. The bull bucks and reels to rid itself of the condor. The condor in turn pecks at the ears and neck of the bull, but it's hardly a fair fight. At the root of this cruel spectacle is a deep respect for the condor, this enormous bird which the people here call the King of the Andes. And just as the condor was a symbol of the Inca Empire, the bull is also a symbol of the Spanish colonial power which once dominated this country. In that sense, this is a symbolic battle fought out between these two animals, but fortunately, in this case, it didn't end in the death of either one of them. It's the first of 3 outings for the terrified bird, which seems unaware of its honored status. Whereas in previous years the condor was often killed, local authorities now say they are heavily fined if that happens.
Todos los años lo hacemos una fiesta siempre con el cóndor. Y tenemos limitado la participación del cóndor. Solamente tres oportunidades puede hacer la fiesta en el ruedo. Sí. Y luego recoge la gobernación y los mismos interesados.
Sí. Y el cóndor está soltado después, obviamente.
Se le suelta, se hace un despacho, se le pone su corona, su plata con todo y se le devuelve a su lugar. Se va.
But zoologists say even capturing the bird, which is a protected species in Peru, is prohibited by law.
It's absolutely illegal to capture condors. The condor is protected by a presidential decree from 2004, which lists the threatened species of Peru, and it prohibits their capture without permission. It's a strange situation because you go to the Agua Fiesta and there's the governor, the mayor, the police, the judge. They're all participating in something that's clearly illegal, but there's no implementation of that law, sadly.
So what are the origins of this curious festival, which sets the sacred bird of the Incas against the beast of the oppressors?
El cóndor es rey de los Andes, de toda la andenería de Apurima, ya, de los cerros, de los apus, ya.
¿Y cuando lo amarran al toro?
Sí.
¿Por qué tiene que hacer eso?
Bueno, es una tradición de un escritor, José María Arguedas, de Andahuaylas. Ya él es el autor, el que ha fundado el Yawa Fiesta. Ya en las corridas de toro a nivel Apurímac, primero chapan el cóndor de las alturas, de los parajes andinos, lo montan al toro.
Many others cite the literature of José María Arguedas, one of Peru's most iconic authors, as inspiration. Born in 1910 to a wealthy landowning family of Spanish descent, Arguedas grew up on a huge estate in these mountains. Brought up by Quechua-speaking nannies and servants, he was immersed in the culture and belief system of the Andes. With one foot in each world, Arguedas wrote in Spanish and the native language Quechua and founded a movement which sought to vindicate Peru's indigenous culture. So